Life has a strange way of testing people. Sometimes it takes everything from you.
Before it gives you something greater. This is not just a story about money. It is a story about kindness,
About pain. About sacrifice. And about a truth that many people never learn. That who you help today may be the one who changes your life tomorrow. This is the story of a sad, jobless girl. And a homeless beggar.
Beggar she thought was poor, weak, forgotten by the world. But she didn't know one thing. That man was a billionaire. Her name was Tariro. Tariro was 24 years old. She had dreams once, big dreams. She dreamed of working in an office, of helping her mother,
Of building a better life. But dreams are fragile, especially when poverty is strong. She had been jobless for 2 years. Every morning she woke up early.
She washed her face. She wore the same faded dress.
And she walked from place to place,
Dropping CVs that nobody read. Call us, they always said. But they never did. She lived in a single rented room.
no electricity most days. No food some nights. Her phone was old.
Her shoes were torn.
Her heart was tired. Yet she never complained. Not because she was strong, but because complaining did not change anything. That morning,
Tariro checked her pocket. She had only $1 left. $1. That money was meant for bread. It was meant to help her survive the day. But life had other plans. As she walked through the busy street, she saw a man sitting near a shop entrance. He was old. His clothes were dirty. His beard was messy. His shoes had holes.
people passed him.
Some looked away. Some laughed. Some insulted him. Nobody stopped. Nobody cared. Except Tariro. The man looked up at her. His eyes were tired. But calm. Not desperate. Just quiet. He held out his hand and said softly, "Please. Anything you can help with." Tariro stopped walking. She felt something in her chest. Pain. She knew hunger. She knew rejection. She knew what it felt like to be invisible. She checked her pocket again. $1. Her last money. Her mind started
Arguing with her. If you give him this,
You will starve. You are already suffering. Why help someone else?
but her heart spoke louder. She bent down,
Placed the money in his hand.
and said, "I don't have much."
But please eat something. The man looked at the money. Then he looked at her. And he smiled. A strange smile. A smile that did not belong to a beggar. The man asked her, "Why did you give me this?"
Tariro replied, "Because I know how it feels to have nothing."
The man stayed quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Sit." She hesitated. But she sat beside him. People stared. A young girl sitting with a beggar. But she didn't care. He asked her about her life. She told him everything. The joblessness. The hunger. The rejection.
The night she cried silently. He listened carefully. No interruptions. No
Pity. Just attention. Then he said something strange.
Today,
"You passed a test." She laughed softly.
a test?
"Sir, my life is already a test." He smiled again and said, "Come back here tomorrow. Same time." She nodded. Not expecting anything. The next day, Tariro returned, but the beggar was gone. Instead, there were black cars. Security guards. Men in suits. She became afraid. Then, well-dressed man stepped forward. He was clean, sharp, powerful. She didn't recognize him until he smiled. It was the same smile. He said, "Good morning, Tariro." Her knees became weak. You are the beggar." He nodded. "My name is Mr. Moyo. I own banks, companies, and buildings across the country. I dress like a beggar to see who still has a heart." She was shocked. Ashamed. Confused. She tried to apologize. But he raised his hand and said, "You did not help me because I was rich. You helped me because you are kind." Mr. Moyo offered her a job. Not as a cleaner. Not as a servant. but as a personal assistant, with training, with mentorship, with salary. He paid her rent, bought her food, helped her mother, but more importantly, he restored her dignity. He told her, money can be found, but kindness is rare. Over time, Tariro grew. She learned business, confidence, leadership. She became strong, not because of money, but because someone believed in her. Mr. Moyo later revealed the truth publicly. He said, I have seen educated thieves. I have seen rich criminals. But this girl gave her last money, without knowing who I was. Tariro later started a foundation, helping jobless youth, feeding the homeless, giving hope. She never forgot where she came from. This story teaches us something powerful. You may be broke, but still rich in heart. You may be suffering, but still chosen. Never let pain turn you cruel, because the world does not change through money. It changes through kindness. Tariro's life changed, but not immediately in the way most people imagine. She did not wake up with a mansion around her. She did not suddenly have expensive clothes. She did not become famous overnight. No. Her life changed slowly, in ways that tested her heart, her patience, and her courage. Because kindness, even when rewarded, does not erase the struggles of the past. And Tariro would soon learn that true change begins from within. The next morning, Tariro nervously approached Mr. Moyo's office. She expected a small mundane job, perhaps filing papers, answering phones, something ordinary. But he had other plans. You will be my assistant, he said. Not just any assistant, but someone who will learn how I manage my businesses. Tariro's heart raced. Her hands trembled. Her eyes filled with tears. She said softly, I don't know if I can do this, sir. He smiled. I don't expect you to know now. I will teach you everything. But first, you must be honest, patient, and kind. And so she began her journey. The first weeks were overwhelming. Meetings, numbers, strategies, names she couldn't pronounce. Decisions that felt impossible. Sometimes she made mistakes. Big ones. She misfiled documents, forgot instructions, even spilled coffee on important papers. But Mr. Moyo never scolded her. He explained. He guided. He encouraged. You are learning more than a job, he said one day. You are learning life. Tariro realized something. Success is not just about money. It is about knowledge, patience, courage, and the ability to keep going, even when everything seems impossible. One rainy afternoon, a young boy came to the office. He was wet, shivering, and hungry. Tariro wanted to help. Her instinct screamed, give him food. But Mr. Moyo stopped her. Think carefully, Tariro, he said. Sometimes, helping someone too soon can harm them. She paused. She remembered how she had once been hungry, how a single act of kindness had changed her life. Without hesitation, she bought the boy food. She sat with him, listened to his story, and made sure he was safe. Mr. Moyo watched quietly. Later, he said, you did the right thing. But remember, wisdom is kindness guided by understanding. As weeks passed, Tariro began noticing changes in herself. Her clothes became nicer. Her room had lights for the first time in years. Her phone was new. People treated her differently. Some praised her. Some envied her. Some even tried to manipulate her. She started questioning herself. Was she helping people because she was kind, or because she was afraid of losing her new life? One night, she cried in her room. Not because she was sad, but because she was scared of becoming someone she did not want to be. Mr. Moyo found her the next day. You are struggling, he said gently. Yes, life gives many gifts, but also many challenges. True character is revealed in what you do when no one is watching. Tariro wiped her tears. She realized she needed to stay true to herself, no matter how much her life changed. Over time, Tariro and Mr. Moyo grew close.
not in a romantic way, but in a bond of trust, respect, and understanding. He shared stories of his childhood, of mistakes he had made, of moments when he lost everything, and how a single act of kindness had saved him. Tariro shared her dreams, her fears, her hopes for the future. Together they laughed. Sometimes they argued, but always they learned from each other. She realized this man was more than a billionaire. He was a teacher, a guide, and a reminder that wealth is not just in money, but in the wisdom you share. One evening, Mr. Moyo asked Tariro to make a decision. "You have learned a lot," he said. "Now you can either continue as my assistant or start your own project. Something meaningful. Something that can help many people." Tariro's heart raced. Her mind spun. She remembered her old life. The nights she had cried alone. The hunger. The loneliness. And then she smiled. "I want to help others," she said softly. "I want to give people hope. Like you gave me." Mr. Moyo's eyes sparkled. "You have made the right choice, Tariro. Because this is true wealth." And with that, her journey truly began. Tariro had made her choice. She would not stay in the comfort of Mr. Moyo's office forever. She would not keep the wealth for herself. She remembered her past. The nights she had gone hungry. The fear. The loneliness. And she remembered the lesson. True wealth is not in money. It is in kindness, courage, and action. So, with Mr. Moyo's guidance, she set out to change lives. Tariro called her project Hope for Tomorrow. The goal was simple: feed the hungry, help jobless youth, provide education and training for those forgotten by society. The first days were hard. People laughed at her. They said, "Who are you to start something like this?" They said, "You are just a girl who was once poor." But Tariro did not give up. She remembered her first act of kindness and how it changed her life. With a small team, she started visiting shelters. She met young people who had been on the streets for years. She talked to them. She listened. And most importantly, she believed in them. Running a foundation was not easy. Some people tried to cheat her. Some wanted to steal donations. Some pretended to be in need but were not. Tariro learned quickly. Good intentions must be paired with wisdom and caution. One day, a boy named Tafajwa came to her. He claimed he had nothing. Tariro wanted to help, but Mr. Moyo warned her. Check the story. Not everyone is honest. She investigated. She found out the truth. Tariro was disappointed, but she also learned a lesson. Helping others is not just about giving. It is about discerning. About making sure your kindness truly reaches those who need it most. Months passed. The foundation grew. More volunteers joined. More people were fed. More youths found jobs and training programs. Tariro became a symbol of hope. Her story was inspiring. She traveled across cities. She spoke at events. She met politicians, business leaders, and journalists. Yet, she remained humble. She remembered the $1 she had given to the beggar, and how it had led to everything. One evening she reflected, if I had kept that money, if I had been selfish, would I ever be here today? The answer was clear. No. Then came the day that changed everything again. A major newspaper wanted to feature her story. They wanted to know, who helped you? Tariro hesitated. She didn't want attention from Mr. Moyo. He had helped her quietly. But Mr. Moyo insisted. Let the world know. Kindness deserves recognition. It might inspire others. The story was published. Headline: From Jobless Girl to Hero, How a Billionaire's Disguise Changed One Life. Suddenly, people everywhere knew. Social media exploded. People shared the story across Zimbabwe, South Africa, the UK. And the comments poured in. Wow, she is amazing. This gives me hope. Kindness is real. Even strangers sent her money and donations for the foundation. Tariro was overwhelmed. But she smiled, remembering. It all started with one act of kindness. Asterisk despite all success, Tariro still faced personal challenges. She missed her old life sometimes. She missed her mother's warm embrace during tough times. She sometimes doubted herself, thinking, "Am I truly worthy of all this?" Mr. Moyo reminded her, "Life will always test you. But you passed the hardest test when you gave your last dollar without knowing who I was. Everything else is just practice." Tariro learned to forgive herself, to embrace growth, to stay true to her mission, no matter the distractions. Asterisk years later, Tariro looked back. From a jobless girl, to a leader inspiring thousands, to someone who turned her pain into purpose. She visited the streets where she had once wandered hungry. She saw children laughing, fed, and hopeful. She saw young women and men learning skills, earning respect, and dreaming big. And in her heart, she whispered, all of this started with a simple act. $1, a smile, a choice to be kind. Her journey was far from over. But one thing was certain. She would never forget the lesson life had taught her. Kindness is more powerful than wealth. Courage is more valuable than comfort. And giving, without expecting anything in return, changes the world. Asterisk. Tariro had come far. From the streets with nothing, to a woman leading a movement of hope. But life, as always, had more lessons in store. Success, even when earned honestly, does not come without challenges. Fame, recognition, trust, betrayal. These were battles she had never expected, and she would soon discover that being kind sometimes attracts envy as much as admiration. Asterisk. With the newspaper story published, Tariro became a sensation. Interviews, TV appearances, social media trends. People were inspired by her journey. But with the spotlight came scrutiny. Some journalists questioned her motives. Some people accused her of seeking fame. Some even claimed she had been given money secretly to start the foundation. Tariro felt the weight of their words. She remembered Mr. Moyo's advice. Do not let the noise distract you. Kindness is its own reward. She continued her work quietly, letting actions speak louder than words. Asterisk. As the foundation grew, so did the challenges. Supplies were stolen. Some volunteers betrayed trust. Donations were misused by greedy intermediaries. Tariro realized that leadership was more than giving. It was also watching, guiding, and making tough decisions. She faced her first major moral dilemma. A wealthy donor offered a huge sum of money but asked for control over who would receive help. Tariro paused. Her mind raced. If she accepted, the foundation could feed thousands more. If she refused, she risked losing critical support. She thought about her journey. She thought about the boy she once helped on the street. She remembered her heart that she refused the offer. It was a small victory, but an important one. She realized, integrity is more valuable than money. Asterisk. While Tariro focused on the foundation, her personal life grew complicated. Old friends from her jobless days returned. Some wanted help. Some wanted to profit from her success. She also met a young journalist, Tendai, who admired her courage. They spoke often. Tendai asked difficult questions. He challenged her beliefs. He made her think deeply about her impact. Tariro grew close to him, not romantically, but as a trusted confidant. Through these relationships, she learned another lesson. True leaders must balance trust with caution. Asterisk. Word of Tariro's foundation reached beyond Zimbabwe. Organizations from South Africa, the UK, and the US wanted to collaborate. She was invited to conferences, workshops, and international forums. Tariro felt nervous. She had once been too afraid to speak in front of one person. Now she was speaking in front of thousands. Her message was simple. Kindness changes lives. Compassion is powerful. Every small act matters. Her story inspired youth worldwide. But Tariro remained humble. She knew her journey was rooted in one small act, the $1 she had given to the beggar. Asterisk. Success brought a bigger test. One day, a corrupt government official demanded that Tariro use her foundation to serve his political agenda.
He threatened to cut off support if she refused. Tariro felt fear. Her work could collapse.
Thousands could suffer. She remembered the lessons Mr. Moyo had taught her. Integrity over convenience, kindness over fear.
Courage over comfort. Tariro refused. It was a bold move. She risked losing everything, but she also gained respect from her team and supporters. She realized, sometimes the right choice is also the hardest. Mr. Moyo called her one evening. You have grown, he said. From a kind girl to a strong, wise woman. The world is watching you now, Tariro.
But remember, no matter the recognition, the awards, or the wealth,
your power comes from your heart. He smiled. Tariro smiled back. She understood finally. Her journey had never been about money. It had always been about courage, integrity, and kindness. Tariro had grown into a strong, courageous woman. She had survived poverty, loneliness, and doubt. She had learned the power of kindness. But life was not done testing her. Even heroes face storms. Even those who inspire millions face betrayal. Even those with pure hearts face darkness. This is the story of how Tariro faced her greatest challenges and emerged not just victorious, but legendary.
Tariro single quotes foundation, Hope for Tomorrow,
was now recognized internationally. Organizations in South Africa, the UK and the US offered partnerships. She traveled to Cape Town, London, and New York. She gave speeches. She met young leaders. She inspired thousands.
Yet, international exposure brought pressure. Some organizations wanted to control the foundation.
Some questioned her methods.
Some envied her influence. Tariro realized that growth was not just about numbers. It was about values, ethics, and staying true to the mission. She spent nights strategizing.
She consulted Mr. Moyo. She reminded herself why she started. To give hope. To make a difference.
Not everyone was happy about her success.
One morning, Tariro discovered that someone had stolen important documents from the foundation. Financial records. Donation logs. Lists of beneficiaries. Panic struck her. She feared that the work she had done would collapse. She investigated quietly. Her instincts led her to a former volunteer who had grown jealous of her influence. Tariro confronted them.
You wanted to destroy what we built? Why?
She asked. The volunteer sneered. You think you're better than everyone because a billionaire helped you. But you're just a girl playing with power. Tariro's heart ached. But she remembered Mr. Moyo's lessons. Patience.
Courage, integrity. She reported the sabotage, repaired the damage, and implemented stricter controls. Her foundation survived and emerged stronger. Tariro's personal
life had become complicated. Old friends returned, some wanting favors.
Family members sometimes demanded help beyond her capacity. Journalists wanted sensational stories about her past poverty. She missed quiet days.
She missed freedom from responsibility. Tariro found comfort in Tendai, the journalist she trusted. He reminded her to rest, to forgive herself, to focus on the bigger picture. She realized that leadership is not just about giving, it is also about protecting your heart. Media attention grew. Some journalists praised her work. Others tried to twist her story. Headlines like, Billionaire's Girl or True Hero. Was Tariro only successful because of money? Tariro felt frustration. She wanted to scream. It's not about money. It's about kindness. She took a deep breath and addressed the public directly. I was once jobless, hungry, and lonely. I gave my last dollar to a man I thought was a beggar.
That act changed my life. It was not about wealth. It was about kindness, courage, and integrity.
This is what we must teach our children. This is what our world needs. The public was moved. Social media flooded with support.
Her story became a symbol of hope worldwide. One day,
someone from Tariro's past came forward. A former neighbor who had once laughed at her,
doubted her, and called her worthless.
They said, I can't believe you did all this. You, the girl I used to mock. Tariro paused. Her chest tightened. She could have reacted with anger. She could have exposed them, but instead she smiled. She reached out her hand.
Thank you,
she said softly.
because even your doubt taught me to never give up.
The former neighbor was speechless.
And in that moment, Tariro realized her journey was not just about success.
It was about transforming hearts, even the hearts of those who once doubted her. Years later,
Tariro looked back, from a jobless girl to a woman leading an international foundation,
to a legend whose story inspired millions.
She remembered the man she had helped, the beggar who was secretly a billionaire.
She remembered the $1 she had given.
She remembered the lessons, the tears, the fear, and the courage, and she smiled. Her legacy was not wealth.
It was not fame.
It was kindness.
It was courage. It was hope given to those who had none. Tariro whispered to herself. Every small act matters. Every choice matters.
And one act of kindness
can change the world.